Hey, welcome back to Kingdom Culture. It's such a pleasure to be with you once again. Last week, we spoke a little bit about what it means to hold space for ourselves and for one another. But in case you missed it and you're joining us for the first time, just want to encourage you to visit the link at the bottom of this page where you can actually catch up on what we spoke about, how you can be a good space holder for yourself as well as for others. So last week we spoke about 4 practical ways in which we can begin to hold space well for ourselves and for others. And today, I just want to share 4 more practical ways in which you and I can become wise space holders. Very quickly, what does it mean to hold space? Holding space is just learning to walk alongside each other, reserving our judgments of each other's words and actions, learning to support each other, offer encouragement, not trying to fix one another, not trying to impact the outcome of a given situation, not making it all about ourselves. That very simply is what it means to hold space well for ourselves as well as for others. Holding space also means that we are aware of boundaries that are important both for ourselves as well as for others. Now today, you may be in a place where you are holding space. Maybe you're not even aware of it, but you're holding space for your family. Parents hold space for their children. Children hold space for their siblings. Friends hold space for each other. So there are several areas where we hold space for one another. And a lot of this happens very unconsciously. But my hope is that through these episodes, we become a lot more aware of the importance of holding space, especially when we've had a really tough year like 2020, where a lot of things have happened for the very first time in some of our lives. So it's important that we learn how to hold space well for ourselves and others. So without further ado, I just want to jump in to 4 more practical ways in which you can begin to grow as a wise space holder. Today we're going to be talking about creating an environment where it's safe for people to fail. If people are going through a tough season of their lives, like many of us are going through, some of us have been through possibly the toughest phase of our lives. Some of us are possibly entering into a time of transition. No matter where you are, holding space means we are able to create an environment where it's safe for people to fail. As a wise space holder, when I hold space for somebody else and allow them to fail, what it does for them is that it helps them to grow and to learn from their mistakes. If I was not able to hold space, and if I came down hard on every failure, it would make people feel incompetent. It would make people feel discouraged. And many of those strong, deep emotions will never surface if we are not able to create an environment that's safe to fail. This is so important to be practiced in our own homes because it all starts at home. And this is something I always tell my children. If we don't practice it at home, chances are you're not going to be practicing it when you go into your schools, your colleges, your workspaces, in churches, wherever you may be. So it all starts at home. Create an environment where it's safe for people to fail. The second thing, be sensitive when you offer guidance. Many of us are in the habit of offering free advice. I want to ask you, think again. Who is helped when you offer free advice? Do we end up making it all about ourselves to show people how knowledgeable we are? Because if you really care about other people, you would stay away from offering free advice. So here's a practical way. Be thoughtful. Offer guidance with thoughtfulness and humility. Know when you need to offer guidance and know when you need to step back. Give people room. And that's a very helpful way when you're holding space for other people. The third way, create spaces for complex emotions. And when I talk about complex emotions, it's things like fear, trauma. In today's day and age, many people are going through situations where they're contemplating suicide. Depression seems to be a common issue in many people's lives. These are complex emotions. Many times people are not able to articulate what they're actually going through. They're not even able to bring themselves to a place where they can even begin to talk. These are complex situations. And some of you watching may be going through times like that. You may be holding space for somebody like that, and it might be frustrating. It's difficult. And we are with you. We understand. It's not easy. But I want to tell you, think about this one. As a wise space holder, learn to set some boundaries for yourself as well as for others, especially when you're dealing with complex emotions. It's a life-saving skill, because if I do not know how to contain myself, if I'm overly emotional as a person, chances are I will get lost in that situation. So it's important that we learn to draw boundaries both for ourselves as well as for the ones that we are supporting, especially when we're dealing with complex emotions. So think about that one. What are some boundaries that you need to set for yourself as well as for the others that you're supporting on this journey? And the last one, the fourth one. This is very important. Allow the ones that you're supporting to have different experiences to yours. Allow them to make decisions that are different to yours. And many times, especially as Asians, we have this habit of wanting people to have the same experience and to make the same decisions like ours. But the reality is quite different. I have 2 young girls growing up, and as a parent, I've learned that they have a unique journey of their own. They have experiences which they would like to explore. They want to be able to make decisions and to be able to own up for it. And as a parent, my role is just to facilitate their journey. So here's the fourth thing that I want to leave with you. When you are supporting somebody, when you are holding space for someone else, allow them to have experiences that are different to yours. Allow them to make decisions that are different to yours. See how you can support them. And that's a very helpful way in which you can begin to hold space for yourself as well as for other people. I sincerely hope over the last 2 weeks, you've learned a little more about what it means to hold space for yourself as well as for others. I pray that 2021 will be filled with God's blessings and favor over your life as you journey into becoming a wise space holder. God bless you, and we will reconnect with you very soon.